In the ancient lands of Norse mythology, where gods and giants roamed, and legends were born under the endless northern skies, there was one figure whose strength and courage were unmatched: Thor, the thunder god. This is the tale of a time when Thor found himself deep in the realm of giants, facing a challenge so impossible, even he could not foresee the tricks woven into it. And it all began with a simple drink. It was on one of his travels with Loki, the cunning trickster god, that Thor entered the realm of Útgarða-Loki, the towering king of the giants. Known for his strength, Thor was always ready for a fight, always ready to prove that he was the mightiest among the gods. But Útgarða-Loki had no interest in mere brawls. He wanted to test the limits of Thor's endurance and perhaps his pride. Upon entering the hall, Thor and Loki were immediately made to feel like small children in the presence of the giants. They mocked the gods, questioning their strength and powers, challenging them to a series of contests. And that's when Útgarða-Loki, with a sly smile, turned to Thor and offered him a drinking horn. Now, this wasn't just any horn. It was massive, nearly as long as a man's arm, and filled to the brim with liquid. Útgarða-Loki explained, "The giants of this hall can empty this horn in 3 gulps or less. Let's see how you fare, mighty Thor." Thor looked at the horn, undaunted, certain he could match any giant's strength. He raised it high and took his first gulp, feeling the cold liquid rush down his throat. And he drank, and drank, but no matter how much he swallowed, the level in the horn barely seemed to lower. Thor paused. The giant's laughter echoed through the hall, but he didn't let it shake him. Thor tried again, taking an even deeper drink, feeling the cold weight of the liquid filling him up. And still, the horn seemed almost untouched. The giants laughed louder, but Thor's pride refused to let him stop. Once more, he lifted the horn, pouring every ounce of strength he had into this final attempt. His vision blurred, and the hall spun slightly around him, but still, the liquid hardly budged. When he finally lowered the horn, exhausted, Útgarða-Loki chuckled, his voice sly and mocking. "Impressive," he said, "but not quite enough." Thor's face was red with frustration. The mighty god, humiliated by a mere drink. But there was something strange in Útgarða-Loki's smile, a glint of satisfaction, almost as if he'd been waiting for Thor's reaction. And it was then that the giant king revealed the truth. "Thor," he said, "this was no ordinary drink. I wager you didn't know it, but the horn you drank from was magically connected to the very ocean itself." The giants gasped in awe, for Thor's strength had indeed been legendary that day. He had drunk so deeply that he lowered the level of the entire ocean, shifting the tides themselves. What seemed like a failure was actually one of the greatest feats ever witnessed in the realms. Útgarða-Loki couldn't deny it. Even though Thor hadn't emptied the horn, he had done something far greater. He had proven that his strength could touch the natural world, bend it, move it. Thor stood there, silent, his pride restored, but his heart burning with anger. Útgarða-Loki continued, confessing that all of the challenges Thor and Loki had faced were tricks, illusions meant to test their will. Thor, realizing he'd been duped, left the giants' hall, vowing never to fall for such trickery again. And so, Thor and Loki returned to Asgard, carrying the tale of a victory hidden within defeat and the memory of a drinking contest that became a legend. To this day, the Norse people say that Thor's strength still lingers in the sea, as the tides rise and fall, a reminder of the god who once dared to drink the ocean.